Hello and welcome to another edition of our Wine Down Wednesday previews here at the Wine Loft in Pier Village. Thanks for joining us again. We're going to do today a preview of the wines that we'll be showing on May 12th, 2010. These are all wines that are brought to us from Deutsch Wine Imports. On the 12th we will have Michael Gellini, who's a representative of the company, who will be taking you through the tasting that day. But my name is Vincent Trapazzano and I'm the general manager here at the Wine Loft. So I'm going to do a little preview for you of what you can expect on that day when Michael's here for you. We're going to do two wines from Koundé, which are Sonoma family, the Koundé family, and then these are pretty much prototypical of Sonoma wines. Then we're going to do Gary Farrell Chardonnay. Gary Farrell's pretty famous for his Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, but I think it'd be pretty interesting to taste these two Chardonnays next to each other, completely different styles. And then we want to take you up the ladder a little bit and get you into a really serious, big Napa Valley Cabernet, which is Atlas Peak. And we'll talk about this one last. But unlike some other tastings, I think we're actually going to start you that week with a little bit of Merlot. The Koundé Merlot has been our house Merlot for a couple months right now. We appreciate all the support that you've shown it. It really is an outstanding wine. Really light, balanced, very easy drinking Merlot. Has a little bit of that Bing cherry flavor to it, a little bit of like a cedar box type of flavor, and really for a red wine, it's great to just sit there and drink without any fruit. Really what Sonoma is all about. There's a little more subtlety when you talk about Sonoma Valley fruit as when you get into your Napa Valley fruit and your Napa Valley Merlots. So this is just really fantastic, easy drinking Merlot. The other Koundé wine that we're going to taste for the night is the Sonoma Chardonnay New. And it's called Chardonnay New because it is a different approach to California Chardonnay winemaking. As you're going to see when we get into the Farrell, that uses a lot of new French oak, a little bit of Hungarian oak. This Koundé Sonoma sees absolutely no oak whatsoever. It's all stainless steel fermentation. Really, it's almost made in a Sauvignon Blanc style. It only undergoes secondary malolactic fermentation, which sounds pretty technical, but really it's a pretty simple concept of getting some lactic acid exposed to the grapes, and that's what gives you that real creaminess and butteriness that you find in some Chardonnays. This is it's a different technique to kind of hide some of those toast flavors and hide some of that cream, because every wine does see malolactic fermentation, even reds. So you're going to get a little different style Chardonnay than you may perhaps be used to from California. And after we go there, we'll get into the Gary Farrell, which I said Russian River fruit, 100% Russian River, and makes outstanding Pinot Noir, which you may have seen here on our list from time to time. It kind of comes in and goes out. But this is the Chardonnay that we're going to taste. And again, this is going to be almost the opposite of the Koundé, in that it is exposed to oak, and it really does have that depth of character to it. Some serious vanilla, butterscotch, caramel flavors, just outstanding with a cheese plate. Any wine that has, or any food that has a really nice fat content to it, really cuts that beautifully. It's a great wine. Then, as you may have seen, if you watched our last video, I am a big fan of the bigger wines and cigar wines, wines with blue cheese, big steak, and that's why we're going to show the Atlas Peak to you today, or I'm sorry, when you come in on the 12th. This is known as a mountain blend. It's 100% Cabernet, but they call it mountain blend. Up on Atlas Peak Mountain, you get very thin soil, and what the thin soil does is it makes the grape strain a little bit to keep its flavor. So the fruit is very concentrated. It's very rich. Has enormous depth. This is going to be a big, almost they call it like a muscular wine. You can tell there's a lot going on. You're going to get some chocolate, some coffee, and also very dry. So if you're a fan of a really nice, intense dry red, the Atlas Peak Cabernet is really going to be the way to go for you. So hopefully we get to see you on the 12th. Stop in, taste some of these fantastic wines, meet Michael Gellini from Deutsch, and hopefully you become a fan of Koundé, Gary Farrell, Atlas Peak. And if you have any questions when you're in that night where you can get these wines and go through the specials that evening, hopefully we'll see you then. Thank you.